everything ready with you? Okay, I'll call a regular city council meeting Monday, March 30 to order. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Alderman Ferrari.
Here.
Waldorf.
Here.
Precocious.
Here.
Radke. Here. Sapienza.
Here.
Payton.
Here.
Ballard.
Here.
Buffo.
Here.
Mayor Harrell.
Here. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag
of
of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For those that are on video, that didn't work out very well in here. Everybody trying to, it was...
Everybody talking at once is going to be a bit of a challenge, so if aldermen that are chiming in from electronically, if we could try to speak slow and to try to avoid talking over each other.
Okay.
You please stop.
Then I've asked Pastor Kevin Hancock to do an invocation tonight before we start with the meeting, and I'm going to do this on a regular basis, and I'll go from church to church. You know, I don't want to just go to wherever. We'll try and include them all, and any of the pastors, priests out there that want to call and contact us to do this, will please do. But for right now, it'll be Pastor Kevin Hancock from Crossbridge Church.
Yeah, let me pray. And could I just say to all of you, especially our city leaders, I recognize these are kind of crazy, anxious times, and we have a crazy, anxious community. And I really appreciate your leadership, and certainly we want to ask the Lord to give us peace and to help us. So thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let's pray. Father in heaven, we thank you, knowing that you are powerful, you are in control. All of the uncertainties and the worry and anxiety, that, Lord, as we lean on you for wisdom, as we trust in you, that, Lord, you will speak and guide us and direct us. I pray for these leaders, for all of these community servants, that you would protect them, that you would help them. Father, I pray that you would help them in these days, Lord. Bless them, we pray, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Hancock.
Thank you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Good night. Okay, I will mention quickly here the bears in the windows. If anybody looked at the mayor Facebook post over the weekend, we're joining other communities on this. Simply put a bear in your window at home when your family travels, and then when your family travels for essential services, or you're out for a walk during the quarantine, you can be on a bear hunt with your children and yourself. It's kind of a nice idea, and it's caught on pretty well in some of the other communities across the United States. So put a bear in the window and take the kids out for a bear hunt, grandmas, grandpas, whatever, but only do it, like I said in the post, when you're out traveling because of your need for your essential services. So thank you. Public comment. Do we have any public comment? Aaron? Okay, presentation, no presentation. Do I have a motion to receive the minutes and place on file?
So moved, Your Honor. Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion approved. Do I have a motion to receive the financial reports and place on file?
So moved.
Second.
Who's that?
Alderman Payton.
Buffo.
Buffo.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we'll move on to committee reports. Chairman Radke of the Finance and Safety Services.
I think Alderman Buffo has disbursements.
Yes, I have the disbursements to be paid April 1, 2020, in the amount of $1,075,904.83. I make a motion that these be placed on file and the bills be paid in the usual manner.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
And that's Alderman Payton.
Aye.
Oh, okay, is there any discussion? Have a roll call, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke. Aye. Sapienza.
Aye.
Payton.
Aye.
Ballard.
Aye.
Buffo.
Aye.
Okay, motion approved.
Your Honor, also on the agenda, I move that we approve a $250 contribution to Horizon House Road to Independence campaign.
I'll second.
Okay, you'll have to,
Alderman Sapienza.
Alderman Sapienza? Well, I don't get their names right half the time when they're here, let alone on that. So, bear with me all around. So we have a motion to approve a $250 contribution to Horizon House Road to Independent campaign. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call, clerk call the roll.
Alderman Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke. Aye. Sapienza.
Aye.
Payton.
Aye.
Ballard.
Aye.
Buffo.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Your Honor, one other item we want to bring up is I would like to have a Finance Committee meeting where we discuss some items. We've talked about Thursday at 6:30 p.m. I've gotten confirmation from at least 2 other committee members that they can make that meeting, so I'm going to ask the city clerk to schedule that meeting for Thursday at 6:30 p.m.
6:30 Thursday, that's April 2nd.
That is April 2nd, that's correct. And I believe that's the only report we have, unless Chief Burnaby, Chief King, you have anything out there that you need to bring up at this time?
Chief Burnaby doesn't have anything.
Okay, you have that, Clerk Bartley?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything further from Finance? Nothing?
I didn't hear from Chief King, but I'm assuming he doesn't have anything.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yep. Yeah, I have nothing.
Okay, very good. That's
Just an FYI, if you mute yourself on the alderman or anybody that mutes themselves, it's not gonna let you unmute yourself, so careful.
Okay, we'll move on to Public Services, Chairman Waldorf.
Yes, Your Honor. Alderman Ferrari, please.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve an engineering service agreement with DTS Incorporated for the East Water Waste Treatment Plant Generator Project in the amount of $35,550.
Eric, are you with us?
I am.
Would you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, I had distributed via an email today correspondence from FEMA alerting us that we were awarded the additional grant money for the generator portion of the project. If you all recall, when we did the wastewater treatment plant floodwall project, we had noted in there that it was our intent to also equip the plant with a full-size generator to run the plant in a flood event. At that time, funding wasn't available. Here in the last couple months, I've been working with NCICG and Chamlin and Associates and FEMA IEMA and obtaining some additional money that came available, and we were successful in getting that. DTS Solutions is our electrical consulting engineer for this project. So I'd like to move forward now that we know that the money is available. We'll get the project design completed, and we'll be advertising for bids shortly.
Thank you.
Great job on that. Great job, Eric.
Thanks.
I can see your smile from here, Alderman Sapienza.
You bet you can. That flood wall doesn't do much good if we don't have power.
I'll second that motion, Your Honor.
Okay, is there any discussion? Have a roll call the roll, please.
Alderman Ferrari,
Aye.
Waldorf,
Aye.
Lukosius,
Aye.
Radke. Aye. Sapienza,
Aye.
Payton. Payton, Payton,
Boy, I wish it was that easy all the time.
With you as well.
I heard that, Sapienza.
Payton. Payton,
Aye.
Ballard,
Aye.
Buffo.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Yes, Your Honor, this is Alderman Ballard. I'd like to make a motion to approve renewal of the salt contract with the state of Illinois at a cost of $73.66 per ton, or at a cost increase not to exceed 10% for the 2020-21 season.
Okay, do we have a motion, a second for that?
I'll second that. Chief King, could you update us on that a little bit?
Yeah, basically what we're looking at there is it's the same thing we did last year. It's with the state bid. What's gonna happen with this, the same cost as what it is, or it could go up 10%. They weren't sure yet till they find out how many people bid on it, but I needed the motion in order for me to be able to do that. Currently, with the salt situation we're sitting at now, we have a full barn, and I need to get 150 more ton in there because I had to buy 80% of the contract. So that's where I'm sitting right now with salt, so we should be sitting pretty decent.
And last year we were at 77.
70, no, it's 73.66 a ton, same price.
Oh, it's the same as what it was last year.
Yep.
Okay. What was the high that we paid back 3-4 years ago? 150?
The highest we paid was 123 a ton.
Oh, okay. This is pretty good numbers.
We
Okay,
can't take,
what's that?
excuse me. We can't take a chance on not having it, even though we didn't use a lot this year. I mean, we gotta have
Absolutely.
it.
We need to do the same thing. This bid is, the same as what it was last year, 2,500 ton. We have to take 80% of that or 2,000 ton.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Is there any more discussion? Have a roll call the roll.
Alderman Ferrari,
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius,
Aye.
Radke. Aye. Sapienza,
Aye.
Payton,
Aye.
Ballard,
Aye.
Buffo.
Motion approved.
This is Alderman Lukosius. Next, Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to approve emergency purchase of a pump for the Arby's lift station from Inman Electric Motors in the amount of $29,477.70.
Second, Your Honor.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Is there discussion?
Yes, Your Honor, I would just like to say that I am employed by Inman Electric Motors, so I will abstain from voting.
Okay, thank you.
I can give a little bit of feedback on this pump. If we repaired this pump, it'd be the third time, so we don't recommend repairing it. And we're gonna continue to need a pump in there. I've discussed this with Eric, and Eric told me it'd be best to buy a new one for this, because we're still, no matter what, even with the deep sewer, we're still gonna need a pump station there to bypass. So my recommendation was to buy the new one, because this will be the third repair on this pump.
And this is Eric, to add to Jeff's point, we are moving forward. We do have the Arby's lift station, or the Arby's trunk sewer designed and complete. We're hoping to get that to bid in the very near future. We're actually exploring a potential grant opportunity right now for some funding that we've been notified of. But with that, we are still a little ways away from getting that project to construction. And in the meantime, we are recommending to purchase this pump, and primarily for the reason that Jeff had stated, is once Arby's trunk sewer is done, we are still gonna maintain the ability to bypass pump some of that flow through the lift station.
This is Alderman Payton.
Chief King,
Yes.
when you replace the old motor, are you gonna have that refurbished as an emergency backup?
Now, this will be my third one, so I'll have 3 in place. I'm not gonna put any money into that pump anymore. I'll still have 3.
But you have backup.
Both my primary and secondary are in now, and the third one that's out right now is my backup that needs to be replaced.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else?
Anything from Chief King or Chief Burnaby?
I have nothing else.
Anybody else? Okay, we'll have a roll call. Call the roll.
Alderman Ferrari,
Abstain.
Waldorf,
Aye.
Lukosius,
Aye.
Radke. Aye. Sapienza,
Aye.
Payton,
Aye.
Ballard,
Aye.
Buffo.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Your Honor, that is all from Public Services. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Report city attorney, resolutions, ordinances?
Yes, Your Honor. First, I have a resolution authorizing the purchase of 1224 Plain Street, Peru, Illinois.
Okay, do we have any motion for the purchase of the 1224 Plain Street house?
Your Honor, we are offering a price, that will get us the money that we have involved in the lien on that property.
That's correct. That's what's happening.
Yes, the purchase price is significantly lower than the listing price, and then it's also less than half of what the fair market appraised value is. And we currently have a ordinance violation suit with this property, and have a lien on file of $5,611.28. So that should be reimbursed as well.
Thank you. I will make the motion, Your Honor.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any comments?
Could you just explain that this is a big link to squaring off the splash pad property?
Right, what is that, the south end of the splash pad park will be squared off, and, we don't have to advertise for bids right away to do the demo on it. We can wait a little bit, wait till winter when normally things are a little slower for contractors, whatnot, but it's something we've been looking at for quite a while. I know there's some concern from some, but it's something we've been looking at for quite a while, and I feel we should go through with it, so. Anybody else?
Yes, Your Honor. If it was 2 weeks ago, I would have supported this, but with all that's happened in the country economically, I think the city really needs to take a look at only spending on, essential city needs, and I don't view the expansion of a park at this point in time as essential, so I'm gonna vote no on this.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, we'll have a roll call. Call the roll.
Alderman Ferrari,
Aye.
Waldorf,
Aye.
Lukosius,
Aye.
Radke. Nay. Sapienza,
Aye.
Payton,
Aye.
Ballard,
Aye.
Buffo.
Aye.
Okay, motion approved. Okay, proclamation, do you have a copy of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, City of Peru, Illinois, proclamation by the mayor. Safety is the highest priority for highways and streets of our city and state. Members of Abate, Illinois, the brotherhood aimed toward education, continually promote motorcycle safety, education, and awareness in high school drivers' education programs and to the general public in our city and state. Presenting motorcycle awareness programs to over 120,000 participants in Illinois over the past 5 years. Whereas during the month of May, all roadway users should unite in the safe sharing of roadways within the city of Peru and throughout the great state of Illinois. Therefore, I, Scott Harrell, Mayor of the city of Peru in the great state of Illinois, in recognition of 33 years of Abate of Illinois and over 293,676 registered motorcyclists statewide, and in recognition of the continued role serves as a leader in motorcycle safety, education, and awareness. With this, I proclaim the month of May this year, 2020, as Motorcycle Awareness Month. Do we have a motion to approve the proclamation as written and read?
So moved.
Okay, that's sounded like Alderman Sapienza.
Sapienza.
Second by Alderman Buffo.
Okay, we have a motion second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Okay, U.S. Fair Housing Proclamation. Whereas April 11, 2020 marks the 52nd anniversary of the passage of the U.S. Fair Housing Law, Title 8 of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, as amended, which enunciated a national policy of fair housing without regard to race, color, creed, national origin, sex, and handicap, and encourages fair housing opportunities for all citizens. Now therefore I, Scott Harrell, Mayor of the City of Peru, do hereby resolve that April 2020, being Fair Housing Month, began a year-long commemoration of the U.S. Fair Housing Law and urge all citizens to wholeheartedly recognize this celebration throughout the year. We have a motion to pass this proclamation as written and read. Anybody?
So moved. Second.
Okay, motion approved. Unfinished business. When we met on Sunday, what was the date? What's that?
All in favor?
Oh, didn't I do that? Okay. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. When we met on Sunday, March 22nd, to act on the resolution establishing a relief fund for the benefit of Peru residents affected by the impact of COVID-19. Where are we at on that? What's our number? 15, 17,000?
I think we're right now, my last count, we were right at 15.
15?
Okay. And we've received, we actually received a couple of donations through the Dropbox today.
Really?
So, ranging right now from $50 to $5,000.
Good. And then the other one we passed was the resolution providing for temporary changes to staffing requirements of City of Peru employees due to COVID-19. Section 4 of that, the changes to city staffing requirements provided herein shall continue until Tuesday, March 31, which is tomorrow. The mayor, in his discretion, is hereby authorized to extend the duration of the changes to city staffing requirements provided herein for 2 additional 15-day periods with the at the least, we're saying we're closed down until April 7th by state law. I know the country's president today was saying through April. So it looks like we're going to have to exercise that. No action needs to be taken. It's just we need to make sure that our HR knows and everybody in the city knows. I know. Are you still on, Chief King?
Yes, I am.
Right. Did you have to bring some people out today for a sewer issue?
I did. I had 4 people down on Bluff Street today. We had a sewer problem down there, and I had them out for pretty much 3/4 of the day.
They showed up on a timely basis and all that?
Yeah, we started right at 7 o'clock this morning. We called them this weekend, told them we needed them in on Monday, and they were all there, ready to go.
Okay. And actually, you're going to probably put out the street sweeper. It's in for a repair right at the moment, but you're going to put that out because that person is isolated in the sweeper, so there's no problem with distancing.
Yeah, we're waiting for a bearing on the sweepers. As soon as we get that in, then I was going to put that person out.
Okay. So anyway, like I said, we've got to extend it. We really don't have a choice. So see what happens. Hopefully things start to look a little better. It's not looking very good though, the way everybody's talking. You know, what is some of the latest they're hearing that we're at least 2 weeks from a peak, something like that. So we'll see. Anybody else?
Also, Mayor, I didn't know if you talked about this weekend or not. I got a schedule together for this weekend starting also, just so you know.
Okay. All right. Anybody else with any unfinished business?
Is Jeff gonna address that under new business or
What's that?
the, yard waste?
Well, it's gonna be new business, but
Okay.
Go ahead, we'll roll right into new business. So, Chief King, with the recent announcement that our waste company is not going to do the yard service, which was scheduled to begin on, I believe, April 3rd.
Correct.
What are we going to do so that we have a facility for our residents' yard waste?
What we've done is Dave contacted, Republic. They're gonna put 2 20-yard containers over at the landfill. We're gonna be open Saturday from 9 to 3, Sunday from 9 to 3, then Monday all day, and we're gonna continue that, each weekend until they're back up and running. Then we're gonna collect it in those 20-yard, containers. Republic's gonna come pick those up, take them away, and then they'll replace it with an empty.
So just so that everyone is aware that you're going to need to, when you fill up a yard bag that you purchase at the hardware stores that are open, and then you are physically going to have to bring that bag down to the former landfill on the south side of the river, and there'll be someone there. And the reason we have someone there is because we need to make sure that we're not taking in materials that we're not supposed to be taking in. So there'll be someone there watching over it, and it'll be open for the days and times that Chief King just discussed. So we're trying to do the best we can in this situation, and everybody's hopefully will pitch in and do everything they can to help out.
People will still
We'll put a press release out tomorrow to everybody and give them the rules, where there's gonna be no dumping on the outside of the fence. Only land waste, yard waste can go into that 20-yard container, just like you would any other time. So.
Okay.
And when can
Your Honor, what do we do for people who cannot get down to the landfill?
We haven't discussed that. I don't have.
We'd be doing the same thing that Republic is. We don't want our employees touching that stuff. So.
Okay.
That's the whole idea of what we're doing here. If they want to get rid of their waste, we're giving them a place to go with it until Republic releases their people to get it.
Not a problem, Chief.
Chief King, when can we start, when can residents start taking their yard waste down there?
Saturday morning at 9 o'clock.
Not this Saturday morning?
Yes,
Yep.
April
Yes,
4th.
this Saturday, okay.
Saturday,
Okay.
April 4th, Sunday.
Starting this
5th.
weekend.
Right.
Thank you.
Residents are still required to have it in a city-approved bag if you still have those, or you need a sticker, or you
No
need...
stickers and a bag from a vendor of their choice.
We're waiving the sticker?
We don't, we never required, we stopped requiring the sticker on.
We used to put the sticker on the bag, that's correct.
Huh?
Yeah. I thought that was Republic. I thought that came from Republic.
No, that was a city thing, you're right.
So residents would still be required to put a sticker on the bag, that'll be checked by our employees.
That would be correct.
Can we waive that?
What do you want to do?
Well, during this, until Republic gets up and running, can we waive that fee?
Republic, that would be a good idea. I mean, they have to carry it down to us. There's no curbside pickup, so I think that would be a fair thing to do for the citizens.
Also, I think it's a lot easier on the city guy. Then he doesn't have to get close to the bags either to see if there's a sticker on them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, Alderman Lukosius here, I think that, we ought to have a meeting with, Republic. We're incurring the costs on this stuff and, I think there ought to be some, payback from them.
No, I agree, I don't know what that is, but we could short pay the invoice, or we need to meet with them, because we are paying for them to provide this service, and they're not going to provide it.
Absolutely.
What are they doing with the dumpsters, Chief King?
They're taking them to their facility wherever they go with it when they pick it up normally.
No, are they providing them, or we being charged?
They're providing them.
Okay.
Right, Dave?
That's correct.
Okay, anybody else under any unfinished business? Okay, we'll move on to new business. asking for a motion to seek proposals for the sale and redevelopment of the 70.6 acres commonly known as the Halm Farm along May Road in Peru that we purchased. What's that been? We've had one growing season, so it's been at least a year and a half. Before the corona hit as hard as it's hitting right now, we've had many inquiries into that property. So we're trying to jump a step ahead when this does end, when the people do come back to do something on that piece of property. So what we're asking for is we're requesting proposals on that. What do you wanna do with it and when do you wanna do it? And then we're past that legal hurdle, so it'll be advertised. So we're good to go. Attorney Swigert, is there a limitation? Does it run out at some time? You know, this satisfies the legal hurdle for putting it in the legal notice in the paper. Does that have a time frame? And if...
Well, I'm in the process of preparing the RFP, with Eric, and, we're close to finishing that up, but there will be an opening date and a deadline date for submission of the RFP, and then it'll go on our regular city agenda of when the opening date is, and then the city, depending on the responses, may choose to reject all of them. You know, who knows what kind of bids, and proposals we're gonna get during this time.
Right.
But it'll be out there and we can, publish it, and we'll have a publication in the paper as well after this, once we know the dates.
Okay, so do I have a motion to...
Your Honor, I would like to say something. I'd like to see us hold off on doing anything on this. I mean, if I know you guys read the date on everything, but everything I've read, you're looking at least 6 months after the quarantines have been lifted. I don't see any retail chains, anything, looking to make any types of moves for 6 months to a year. So if we do an RFP, we do a request for proposal, what are we gonna tell a developer? Hey, this really looks good, but we're not gonna do it for a year? And I don't wanna get into a situation where we tie that land up.
It won't do anything to tie it up. All we're doing is asking for proposals. Who's interested
I know, but the minute we ask for a proposal, then somebody comes along and then it's the hottest deal in the world, we really gotta jump on it, and then we make a decision based on that, and I would just as soon take a step back with a piece of property of that size and just wait this thing out.
Anybody else? Okay, all those in favor? I need a motion. Do I have a motion? Nobody wants to...
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion?
The RFP, can we leave it open-ended? Can we say proposals be in by X date? And open all the proposals on that date, and then also say we'll be willing to consider any proposals that come in after that date on a, first come, first served basis? Is that allowable?
Right, that's how we've, typically handled, the recent ones we did, where we, encourage everyone to submit the RFP, by the opening date or the deadline date, and then, we leave the option open to the city that they will be able to accept proposals after that date, but they may not get the same full consideration as the ones that made it by the deadline.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Okay, motion approved. Now we have the motion to include first responders in HR 6201 Family First Coronavirus Response Act. Could you give us a summary of that, HR, Reese?
Yes, so the federal government just passed, what's called the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. And what that does is it provides emergency sick leave and expanded, family medical leave act to employees. For employers that employ or less than 500 employees, and that also includes public sector and municipalities. This act goes into effect April 1st, and
Okay, do we have a motion to include this first responders into the Families First Coronavirus Response Act?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second, Your Honor.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call. Call the roll, please.
Alderman Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Lukosius.
Aye.
Radke. Aye. Sapienza.
Aye.
Payton.
Aye.
Ballard.
Aye.
Buffo.
Aye.
Okay, motion approved. Okay, discuss the resolution of support by the local governing body and set public hearing date. Is that you, Scott?
Yeah, I can address that. This is in reference to the Downstate Small Business Stabilization Program. I think it was the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity through the state. They just released information about this late last week. The program is established to provide working capital funds to small businesses economically impacted by the COVID-19 virus. The program makes available for 60 days of verifiable working capital expenses such as employee salaries, general operating expenses, inventory, and advertising marketing expenses up to $25,000, and it's available to businesses that employ 50 people or less. If you search Downstate Small Business Stabilization Program on the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, DCEO's website, there's a guidebook there with all the rules and regulations. But basically they have to go ahead and partner with the city, provide them with all the information and documents that's required for the application, and then the city applies in partnership with them. We'll have more information on it. We have to set a public hearing date at least a week from now. So I need to get together and find a good date. I guess we could do as a special meeting of the city council, or it could be a finance committee meeting, however you like. But we would set that date and have to make accommodations for people to participate remotely or electronically, and also be able to point them in the right direction of where they can find the materials in the application.
Okay, so you and Clerk Bartley are going to find a date that works. You want to do it at our next meeting? Is there a timeline? What was the April 1st timeline that was on somewhere in that?
I think that was for a different program.
Okay.
The News Trib had an article about several different programs that are available, and there was one that was due April 1st, but I'm not aware of what that was.
When do applications need to be in with what you have in front of you?
This one, it's on a rolling basis. You can apply as soon as possible. There's only, I think, $20 million allocated to the program, so once that's exhausted, it's out. But I do want to say that it seems a bit rushed, and hopefully we get some guidance from the state on it in the coming days. But as of right now, in order to apply, a lot of the business's financial information would be made public. So, and it is capped at $25,000, and I think there's also expenses incurred prior to the granting of the award are not able to be reimbursed. So there are some rules and regulations that everybody should check out on their website and review that guidebook. But we'll have more information at the public hearing.
Okay, so we need a motion to go ahead, and the clerk and Attorney Schweikert will set up a date for the public hearing. And as you're saying, the public, they're going to want to be here, but we're going to have to figure out how to do that. The biggest identifier in this is it's basically pointed towards restaurants, things like that.
Yeah, and I think the city clerk's office and finance officer Miller, we should get together and have a line available for people to call and have questions about it, but also direct them to the DCEO's website. And that's where you can find the guidebook that has all the application forms. And if they start preparing those application forms and gathering the documents that's needed, The public hearing is really just informational, so we can start working on our application, if those businesses want to be part of it, and, get that in as soon as possible, so.
Okay. Then
We'll work on that and
okay.
perhaps, get organized with a link on the website. It'll drive, interested in businesses to the, information, so they can be better informed and start the process. We already got a couple calls today, so I anticipate after tonight's meeting and it being out, and becoming a little more public, that the phone will ring the rest of the week, asking the same question.
Okay, so we have a motion, and then that'll authorize the city clerk and city attorney to set up a public hearing date. Do we have a motion for this?
Your Honor, all it says on the agenda is discuss.
I'm gonna go ahead and do a motion just with a yay and a nay, so that we can.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, is there anything else that has come in that we don't have here?
I have no other,
No petitions,
no
communications?
petitions or communications, Your Honor.
Okay, public comment, anything? Nothing? Closed session? Not too many people here. Okay.
Your Honor,
motion
before we wrap it up, I'd
Yes.
just like to thank Justin Miller for all this hard work he's put into making this possible.
This is interesting. How many people are logged on?
We have 21 right now, at the most, I think it was 26.
Okay. All right, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
Who's that, Alderman
Tom
Payton?
Payton.
Meeting adjourned.